Hello, hello. It's Sarah Ayler from softflexcompany.com. We have a special guest today, Kay Goss from Stars Beads. She is getting all set up in the background and hopefully will be able to join us in just a little bit. She's having some technical difficulties, but hopefully we'll get those straightened out and she'll be able to join the show shortly. In the meantime, I wanted to share with you that it is National Craft Month. And for National Craft Month, for the last few years, we have done something called Joyful Beading. To do Joyful Beading, you're going to want to go to our VIB Facebook group, and then you will use a chart like this. This one looks like it's not quite fully updated, but you'll use a chart sort of like this one, and it'll be posted into the group sometime today, and you will be able to enter to win prizes. And I think they're working out the prize system, if it's going to be the same as it was in December, if it's going to be daily. So keep an eye out for that as well. But it is National Craft Month. So we like to do daily crafting prompts to get you guys going and crafting. And it's an exciting month ahead. Let's see what everybody's got going on here. Yes, almost live, troubleshooting the connection. Yeah, Kay's working on her connection. I'm going to add her here in just a minute. Before I do that, I wanted to share with you guys, we have a bunch of new products at Softflex Company today. All of these beads got added today. Are they live now, Thomas? I think they went live already. So you can find those at softflexcompany.com. We have check glass flowers in 4 colors. We have a different style flower in 3 colors. And then these might be my favorites. These rainbow assortments in different shapes. They're so pretty, you guys. You're going to love them. So you can find those at softflexcompany.com. You can also find all of the Tiara cast parts and pieces. A few have sold out, but my restock order may be in the mailbox right now. So I had Monse checking earlier today to see if it came in. If not today, I bet it'll be in tomorrow, and those items will be restocked shortly. There aren't too many items that are out, though. Most of them are still available, and you'll be able to find those on the website as well. Okay, I'm going to try to add in Kay. I can't promise the technology is going to work, but we're going to do our best and see what happens.
I am not going. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can hear and see you perfectly.
All right. I'm not going to switch the camera around because I don't want to mess with it.
Okay, I understand.
So you get to see my hands, and for those that watch me, you know this is me. Here I am.
Your hands are just as beautiful as your face.
And look whose hands I also have in here. You want to stick them in there?
Oh, nice.
We've got a little bit of backup here who's going to keep me company, as well as we have a little bit of a beading party. You know what it's like to have kids in the background or in the office, right?
I do. Yeah. My kids, I wanted to tell everybody, my kids went to the park today with their grandma. But what that means is that the puppy is with me. So right now she's sleeping. She got spayed last week. So right now she's sleeping. But if you hear a little yelping or little toes walking across the floor, you'll know it's Shadow just checking things out. So
oh my gosh, that's exciting. We are looking at getting ourselves a little puppy added to our family, since we lost our cat a bit ago. And so and we were kind of been thinking about a dog for years, and so we're kind of excited. We're getting puppy pictures, we're getting to see them fresh out of the litter, and they don't even have their eyes open. So
there she is with her rainbow donut, guys.
Oh.
She's not a little puppy. She's a year old. We rescued her from a family that that no longer could take care of her. They were moving and just weren't quite able to take her with them. So we luckily were able to add her to our family. She is very cute. Thank you, Jody. She's very cute, very sweet, and she's healing up nicely, but we're still wearing the donut because she's definitely a licker and, you know, gets excited and has a lot of anxiety about things. So got to keep her calm. Well, Kay, we're really excited to see what you're going to make today. I'm going to go full screen to you, okay?
Ooh, okay. You cut out for a second, so I'm
Oh, I
it's
hope
as
it's
good as it's getting. Well, you
okay.
know, I know that you'll be able to still do it. We can see a lot more on my table than I'm used to, so there's a lot of stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
I was playing with lampwork glass today and I was doing all things glass right now. And so I've got a lot of check glass and lampwork glass, which actually these are great. You know, the project that we're going to do today, you could totally do with anything you kind of want to highlight. I don't have the, you know, the pendant. We're going to kind of make something maybe a little bit more like this, where you can kind of build and do a little bit of wire weave, a little bit of coiling. So this is kind of a nice combination of a couple different techniques in this one, and using kind of either two simple beads, or you could certainly make this a little bit more, you know, with a specialty lamp work or anything like that. Okay, so I think
Wire.
what's that?
What gauge wire are you using so I can get mine out?
We're going to use probably 18 and 24 gauge. I think those are
Okay.
And then we can kind of decide on color. I was thinking about, I really like these crystal coins that we carry. And I was thinking about using that maybe as a base to kind of do something around, and then put maybe a bead on top and kind of do something that follows this kind of style. So I kind of always like it to be interactive. I don't know, Sarah, maybe you guys can catch the comments, but is there a color you guys would like to use here today? And what color metal do you guys want to mess with? I kind of like to make it like,
Okay,
you know,
what
magic.
colors do you have there so they know what
So
color?
I've got a teal, I've got an aqua blue, a white, a red, or a black right now. So I've got 5 colors here to choose from.
Julie says, shocker, Kay's got a purple and teal.
I know. I was trying to do not my. I mean, I couldn't help. I have to put in at least one of them.
Green, teal, copper wire, teal, red, teal, 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 red, red.
Everybody,
teal.
it cracks me up that we got a lot of blue girls. Okay, and then let me see. I'm gonna pull out another bead here that I just have maybe sitting around.
I would say teal and red are the runaways, and teal is probably the winner right now.
And
so
it's
teal and then copper wire. I've seen a couple color times. Teal and copper color.
Okay, you want to do teal and copper. Okay, all right. Let me pull that right out. Let's pull some magic
this
out.
Is going to be so pretty.
All right, let's take a look. So you guys are choosing some of Softflex's craft wire. You can get that on both of our websites, actually. So you can pick that up in both 18 and 24 gauge, even though I feel like you really need every gauge.
If we're being honest,
it's hard for me to choose when somebody asks me like, oh, what gauge should I get if I'm just starting, and it's kind of hard. I feel like it kind of depends on what you want to do. So it's a hard decision. All of them. The answer is kind of all of them all the time. All right, so let's start out. We're going to use some 18 gauge wire. What am I making here? We're kind of free-forming a little bit. So let's do this style. I'm going to do probably like 2 feet. Because it does a lot of looping, and I would just rather have more than not enough in this particular case. And I'm using kind of a larger coin.
Did you say 2 feet?
So we're using 18 gauge wire, and then I'm going to kind of harden it a little bit, work harden it by taking some nylon jaw pliers and just kind of straightening it out, getting it prepped a little bit since you guys decided on copper. And copper's a little bit soft. I'm sorry, Sarah, and did you just ask me a question?
How long of an 18 gauge wire?
Oh, I did 2 feet, 24 inches.
Okay.
Which is probably way more than we need. But again, we're using a 14 millimeter coin crystal here as my center. So.
Do you think I could do one of these square check glass beads? Is that a possibility?
You can certainly do square. I find it's harder to get the wire to, like this was kind of oval, and you'll see around the edging, like we did a kind of a free form one here, but kind of getting those sharper edging around a rectangle, you may not see it to be as much rectangular as you will. As you think. So I find that round tends to be a little bit easier, but
that makes sense.
To each their own. We're also going to pull off, let's start off with just a, I'm going to do a foot and a half of 24 gauge.
Okay.
To just get it ready, because we're going to use some of it here.
I have been so excited for this feeding party. Okay, I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, me too. It's nice. Kind of at the end of the day, I've been doing computer things, paperwork. It's like tax season.
Yeah.
And kind of working on all the non-fun things. So, and then packaging orders here today.
We're getting new computers in the office, and it's like my worst nightmare because I'm just not a computer person, and I have to.
Well, even if you are, I mean,
I don't know.
It just takes time.
I know.
All right. All right. Are you beading with me here, Sarah? So we got the center. I just want to know. You gonna make one too?
We'll see what happens. Okay, so center of the 18 gauge.
I'm kind of doing the center. You may
that one's
I'm gonna tell you the set. I bet I'd rather do the center. So what we're gonna do is kind of chase the wires. So I'm gonna kind of start going up with one and then down with the other here. And trying to keep these as tight to the hole as we can, because we're going to kind of create a frame with the bead. You can kind of just do one side at a time, and we're going to just press this around as we kind of make a frame. And this is kind of loose and free form here. So I've gone around kind of the halfway on both, and we're going to kind of continue to do that.
Are they going in the same direction?
No, I had, I'm kind of have them chasing. So I started with one bent up. So if you kind of see, it's like a hurricane. So we're kind of doing one this way, and we're kind of following each other right now. Okay, now I'm going to take one of the wires. It doesn't really matter which one. Now, where did I put that? You guys can probably see where I put that wire before I can. All right, I'm going to take the 24 gauge, and we're going to coil this right onto the 18 gauge wire. And I'm just going to coil, I don't know. I kind of ideally want to go around the 14 millimeter coin. So we're going to need it to go a good
and
length.
You're coiling away from the bead on that 18 gauge.
So I'm going to show this a little closer. So I did, so I'm started the wrap closer to the bead, And now I'm coiling, and I'm just going out on just any one of the wires you could technically do it on both. I'm going to kind of do one because I'm only just looking to add texture onto one section of it, and then I kind of like the smooth along with the coiled piece next to it. So we'll see how that looks here. And every couple coils, I like to push it together. And one of the things when you're coiling is just going to be kind of the tension, and you'll see the tension is coming right close to here. I'm holding all of my parts and pieces right by the coil. Okay, and because we use such long wire, you just kind of have to come out as we make that wrap around. This is that therapeutic part. That kind of takes away from things like the heat in your dryer not working. I just had that break. Feels like one of those weeks where things are just not quite working right for me. Yeah. Just like I went looking for this pendant that I wanted to have as a sample here, Sarah, and I have no idea where it is. I've been cleaning a lot, and so it's gotten... You
cleaned it right up.
Yep. Put it in that very safe spot. So safe.
So you can remember where it is.
It's going to be safe for years.
Yeah. Totally. How long are we going to coil?
Well, ideally, I kind of want to get all the way around, so you could kind of see when we start kind of bending this around, right?
Oh.
We've got this much coil right here, and I'm kind of wanting to go all the way around. So at the moment, let me measure it so you guys can see. Or no, I'm at about 1 inch right now. I'm kind of thinking I want to go maybe 3 inches.
Oh, okay.
There's no right or wrong answer, because you can see when we look at something like this, it's coiled, and I'll have to take a better shot of it, but it's only coiled right around there. Now, you could certainly also coil with a thicker gauge, just to even add a heavier texture.
Mm-hmm.
But and then you don't actually have to wire so much, because the gauge itself is fatter, and so that 3 inches will grow a little bit quicker. But that's why I have a foot. I had 1.5 feet, and I'm getting down to probably maybe using it all. Yeah, believe it or not.
You're just speeding right along now. How's everybody?
Well, we got to get to wire weaving here.
How's everybody feeling in your house? Is everybody feeling better?
Yes, Jonah, after some steroids and an antibiotic, and 3 weeks later, he's feeling back to himself. And then my husband has just been having to work it out. Just getting old is not for the weak.
No, it's not. For sure.
But I'm sure, with a family of 3, it's probably always hard to keep everybody healthy, 100,
Yeah.
all the time.
I mean, we're at home, so since we're still homeschooling, we've been pretty healthy. But yes, I do understand, especially if you've got someone in school or going into an office. It's just really difficult.
And you were just traveling. You didn't get the Tucson cred, did you? I know so many people did.
No, we wore masks inside.
Good job.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, well, that's good.
Somewhat uncomfortable sometimes, but I'm like, it's just too hard to have my family be sick. So.
Right? How uncomfortable is it to be having the family sick all that time too, and all the things you miss in that respect too? So
yeah.
All right, I literally wrapping right down to the core here. We're gonna see how much 1.5 feet ended up doing for me, and
This may be the only time I've gone to Tucson that I have not gotten sick.
Right? I'm thinking it happens pretty much.
First and only time.
Yeah. Well, I've certainly had my experience in getting sick while in Tucson. Okay, I'm going to measure this and see how long it is. It came out to a little over 2 inches.
Okay.
Can't believe that. That's all it came out to. I feel like it should have come out to more. All right, so we've got this wired around. We're kind of following it like a hurricane. Okay, so I'm kind of making this kind of tight and keep following itself around until I get to, on one of them, I want to get to the hole. And so because the wired one, I think, is going to end up coming around, because ideally we're essentially going to get these coming up together. See how that looks?
Oh, it's so pretty.
So
beautiful.
It
I think mine's gonna
will show up a little bit better on a photo here. But you know what? That little over 2 inches made that coil come almost all the way around.
It's beautiful.
Okay, so now we're going to have both of these wires now have met up, and I'm kind of at the top of a hole is where I kind of I don't know if you can see where that wire is coming out, but I'm kind of heading toward that hole, so that when I do my bend upward, and technically you don't have to, but that's where my eye is going.
Okay,
all right, and then we're gonna
work with wire. Are you self-taught or did you have a teacher?
I'm kind of, I guess, self-taught. I mean, I had several instructors at our shop. I didn't really take classes though at the time. So I just kind of go with what's natural. I've been around kind of jewelry my entire life, so kind of those things that you kind of, I don't know, through osmosis.
Right. Yeah, totally.
All right, I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to bend both of these upward, and we're going to kind of try to match them. I feel like I should have been going the other way, did I? Well, it's all right. It's not the end of the world. Really, I just want these kind of together. And then I want to put a bead there. What color bead do I want to put there? Probably a purple bead. Julie, you see, I'm going to put a purple bead there. All right, and I'm going to put it only on one. Surprise, surprise, there's your surprise. And I'm going to put it just on one of the wires. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of secure things. So we're going to take that one wire, secure it to that other wire, and do one wrap around the bottom here. Okay, and then I'm going to push that purple one down, and then I'm going to wire around it to secure it into place. And then we're going to line those up once again. That's how we're kind of adding, and we're going to probably have some more coming down. So now we're going to straighten these wires as much as possible. We're going to be wire weaving them, so this will get cinched together. So we want them to be parallel.
I don't know that I'm doing this correctly, but I'm doing it my own way.
Hey, that's totally okay, because you know what? We're going to need to secure this a little bit further down here anyway. So it's all going to come around.
Okay, good.
And this is kind of totally messy style a little bit, so
Right.
it's a free form.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that added grace to be messy.
Yeah. Well, and technically, it kind of is. I am now taking some more 24 gauge wire. We're going to cut off a couple This again can be open in terms of how you want to in terms of length. So I'm going to take another 2 feet. Let's just keep it easy, and then in terms of numbers to remember. All right. Now we're going to do a two wire weave, and what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 wraps on one wire and then 2 wraps on both wires. And then we're going to go back to the 1 wire, and we'll do that same 1 wire all the way through. So it'll be kind of on the same side each time. Okay. So starting here. Okay.
So you're going to sort of weave back and forth.
Yep. So I'm taking one side here and wire wrapping. It's when I first start, I usually tend to do 3. And since we're kind of at the bottom, that's okay to do to kind of cinch it into place. So we'll do 3 there to get started. And then I'm going to push this down.
Okay.
And then we're going to hold the 2 together and then wrap the 2 tight together. Okay.
Let me get another.
So we did 3 wraps on a single and 2 wraps on a double. And if I were drawing that on paper right here, we have like our 2 wires here, and we're wrapping twice. Here's a wrap, here's a wrap, and then we're going to do a double wrap, and then we're going to do a single wrap, and then a double wrap, and then single wrap. Okay, we're going to, and this is the weave pattern we're doing, kind of simple. Okay, don't have to, these simple things kind of added up creates complexity. So a lot of times that's what jewelry is. I feel like it's not hard. It just is lots of little things that are built up upon each other. Right? Just like words are, using letters and then they make sounds to make more. So
look at it. Okay, so when you get a little ways down, show us what you've got so we can see what's happening.
And this, you don't have to do a whole lot of this because, this pendant is already pretty good size as it is. Can
you bring it up close to the camera? Oh, okay. So are you guys seeing that? How it's wrapping 2 and then just 1 and then 2 and then just 1 in a pattern?
Yeah, and I had them going opposite ways, and then I think I wanted my wires to be crossed, but we'll cinch it in. Feel like that's how pendants are each all their own.
Yeah, these pendants
never make the same one twice.
Yeah, exactly. Each one is so different. Even when you try to make that same one again, it's turns out a little bit different.
Yeah, so so this is kind of framing it in a different way than I did before, but we're going to kind of use similar techniques and see other ways to make a pendant.
So are these the 2 gauges you use the most often when you're doing wire wrapping? The 18 and the 20?
If I'm using smaller beads and want to be doing it, 18 gauge doesn't always go through everything. So then using a 20 gauge or a 20 gauge and a 26 gauge then would be kind of the match.
I see.
But I use pearls a lot, so I oftentimes am using 22 and 24 gauge in wire too. So
Nancy asked, is this wire wrapping style possible with an undrilled stone?
If you are using probably a half hard, this isn't, I would probably create a prong with the wires on things, but if you use a harder wire, you could get your frame to set your piece in there. So technically, yes, but you'll want to use harder wire. Soft wire, you don't want it moving, so you'll want it to cinch it in. But yeah, it'd be possible. All right, now I've done probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double wraps. So 1, 2, 3. That's what I'm counting is where I've wrapped them double. I think I'm going to go for, say, 10. And I think that'll be sufficient to kind of have a long enough. I kind of think of it like a guitar neck. That we're wrapping.
You're going to bend this, right?
What's that?
You're going to bend what we're making right now.
Wires. Yeah, we can. Yeah, and you could make it a little bit part of the bail. So
this might be what I do.
We'll see. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And then we'll do a 10th. Wrapping it close. What's wrong? Let's see. All right, I'm kind of ending it on that single. I feel like sometimes I can tuck that wire in right in the middle when I end on a single. That way, then less likely for any chance of it kind of unweaving itself. All right, we got ourselves a little neck here. I'm going to show that a little closer. Kind of like a guitar.
Beautiful.
Okay, now let's take I'm going to take a dowel, ideally. All right, and I'm going to take my bail making pliers. You can kind of choose how big you want your bail. Okay, I always feel like you need it a little bit bigger than you think, just because if you want to stick a lobster through there, some of the findings. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, I'm holding, now if you want this design to be in your bail, you'll want to hold a little bit further down. And in my case, I'm going to kind of I want it to be a shorter pendant. So I am going to go ahead and bring it down there kind of in the middle of what I weave there. Okay. And I'm bringing this forward. Okay. And then I'm going to run into itself. So you can kind of see how this pendant is looking from here. Okay. And keeping it close. Okay. And then we're going to lead this wire around the back. And now this is where I'm pushing and right at the point in where I want it to bend. Okay, if you hold your wire out here and you're holding down here, you can see that the bend ends up happening here versus exactly where you might want it. Okay, and now this is where you can get kind of a free form kind of style. We can bring this around, make some coils and make it your own. Okay. So maybe I'll leave one to coil. And then I'm going to continue with one and hide it. And maybe bring it. Because this one I'm going to use to kind of secure back down here. So we can, since you guys like that copper, go ahead and throw some more copper design right into it. All right, and cinching that right at the base. And again, don't mind, I like the messy, okay? And this is where we can bring a little bit of a design. So I took that one piece, wrapped it around the purple and brought it down to here. And then I'm taking the end here, and if you want to coil, or you can just cut it off if you want it kind of simple. Well, we'll take a look at doing coil on both and seeing how it looks. Okay, I think I'm going to cut this down just a smidgen, and you can see we ended up using a lot of this wire, so it was a good thing that we kept it as long as we did. Okay, so I'll just take a little bend here, and we're going to start making a coil. Or a spiral, I'm sorry. And again, you don't have to add this piece. This is just purely decorative. If you want a lot of copper showing. Okay, and then you can do the same thing with this one. This one we don't need as big of one. So you want to start a really tiny little loop as you can. All right, I hear your fire, Sarah.
Yep, they're going. When are you going live these days so people can catch you if they've been missing your shows?
I go Monday and Wednesdays at about 3:30. All right, so I added a little coil right to the top with this extra wire here. And I'm going to kind of cinch that down a little bit more. Kind of press that down. And I kind of don't like this coil here. So you know what? I'm going to cut that off. Because I can. I like that big old crystal in your face. I like the coiling around it. I think it really helps, and I love that in the copper.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got yourself a pendant.
Yes, look at that, you guys! Isn't that beautiful?
And I'll take a picture of it so you can see it a little bit closer.
Yeah. Janelle says
so you can see the difference.
Copper. Becky says very pretty.
That's right. Thank you, guys. That's right. If you guys like what you saw today, make sure you put those likes and hearts and thumbs up on the YouTube and follow Softflex as well as Stars Beads. We've got both of us on. Let's see what you did. There you go. Oh, and you put a little loop on the bottom.
Yeah, I added a little jump ring to put on one of these charms that we had just gotten in from Tiara Cast that I thought looked so pretty with it. And I just did one single bead. This is a bead from our Wonderland bead strand. I think it's sold out. But
yes, it does.
Have it. So look for that bead in your Wonderland bead strand. And yeah, I mean, for my first attempt ever at doing this kind of project, I feel pretty good. I would wear this, throw it on a chain, or even do a little beading with some soft flex and have it in the center.
I think that looks great. That's a
yeah, and you could do any kind of charm. I did this one, but there's also this little sweet charm that just too. You can do a flower, or
I think it would look good as a purse charm.
Oh yeah, that's true. Add that little guy there. so many options depending on what you prefer. I could even see doing one of these sweet little crosses too would be pretty.
Yeah, Sarah, I think you did it. I think you did a great job.
Thank you. I had a good teacher. You know, that helps.
Yeah, you can see all the different
Over here.
simple ways.
Give it a second to focus again. It always takes a second. Come on.
All right, so we've got lots of different ways.
Oh, look at all
Is it
those
going?
options.
Oh, look, I
There we go.
obviously like copper too.
Yeah.
We like copper here too.
Totally.
We ended up doing all of these in copper. I didn't even know.
Without even
I didn't
planning.
even realize that. Here,
Yeah. One
nope,
silver.
but there's a little silver one.
How
And this
funny.
is a latest one we just did with some amethyst.
Ooh, look at that one. That's pretty. That's really cool. I love that one too. Okay, I love your
All right,
style.
you can catch. You're so sweet. Hey, I love just pretty much putting beads into anything.
I hear ya.
Right?
Well, you can catch Kay on the Star Beads Facebook page on Mondays and Wednesdays and sometimes Fridays, right?
Yes. And Sarah, you need to get. I should send you some of this mesh. This has been the hot thing right now.
What? Look at that. What are you doing with that?
We did something like this with
What?
it.
Oh, that looks cool. Is that a pendant?
Yep, we wrapped a pendant here on Monday using that. You can cut it out into earring
Oh,
stuff.
those are fun.
So
And
that's kind of the
rainbow.
fun. And it's rainbow, so you can choose. You can use just a section of a color, or you can do all the colors. Yeah,
If you
Kristen, do I need to send over
send
your
me
office
some,
some?
yeah, you better send some to my work wifey, or I'll never hear the end of it. It's like when I went to Hawaii without
Right? Hey, no shame there. I would give you grief too.
her. A lot of I love that mesh.
Well,
So where do they get the mesh?
oh,
Because they're gonna want that.
you know, I am going to be sharing this on Friday Night Live. That is going to be this Friday at 8 p.m. That's our sip and shop event of just whatever I am working with in the warehouse, and this happens to be something I found.
Awesome. Well, Janelda's reminding everyone the amethyst sale ends today at Bedoria.com, which is where you can get a lot of the products that Kay uses, including her beautiful, let me go over here, her beautiful crystals. I made this with the Galentine's event that we did together last month. And I used almost all of those gorgeous purple crystals that were in that kit. And those came from Kay, and you can get those at Bedoria.com in lots of different colors and then shapes too.
I love that.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good. I like it. I wore it in honor of you today because it's purple and it has crystals.
What's your favorite color, Sarah?
Ooh, I'm kind of a turquoise gal. So like the soft.
I love it. I love it. What's your favorite color?
Everybody out there?
Oh, well, no wonder we go so well together. Those are both my colors. I'm out here. Can you still hear me?
Yep, we can hear you good. What's everybody else's favorite color?
I'm still here.
Tell us in the comments.
Can you hear me, Sarah?
Yep, I hear you.
Did you lose me?
Nope. Hear you good. You don't hear me, I think.
Wait, I didn't hear your favorite color.
Oh, turquoise.
Was it turquoise?
Yes. Yeah, I'm a big fan of
nice.
turquoise. And then I love red as well, and I like yellow. So I don't know. It kind of depends on the day. But I'm looking lots
I
of
always think of yellow for you.
I do love yellow.
You know, we did the bee kind kit, and so I guess I think of that bead party too, and that was a lot. It was making me work in yellow, which I don't normally.
It's a good stretch for you, I bet. I see a lot of people are saying they love to work in blues, aquas, teals, some purples and pinks. I see a green, purple and teal. Jan is right up your alley. Royal blue.
Yeah, rainbow and sparkle. I think I had a quote there on that. If I could be any color, I'd be sparkle.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today and showing us a really fun project. I really love how mine turned out too. And
All right, you post yours, I'll post mine.
let's see if I can go all screen here. There we go. So we can see both at the same time. Look at how fun that is to add just
Let's
like
see.
a little
Let me see if I can do this.
or to add a bead at
See
the
if
top.
that helps.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty good. Very fun. And you can change the size of the bead and the size of the wire even if you need a smaller wire for
excellent. Well, I know it's getting to be already bedtime around here on the East Coast.
All right. Well, we'll let you
I love
go.
this turquoise
It's time
bead.
to get
That was a
little
good choice.
All right. Thank you so much, Kay. And you can find out more about Kay at Bedoria.
It is. He is already ready. He had testing this week, and so
Man, that's a lot. So Bedoria.com for Kay. And then of
get
course
ready for those, Sarah. I know if you're into collector beads, this is what we're going to be also probably showing off. Some beautiful
Ooh, on Friday. Those are beautiful. All right. And you can find everything on my bead tray at softflexcompany.com. And we will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.